Hey guys, oh man, it's been a minute. I haven't done a video like this in a really long time, but I'm coming out of my hiatus in college to talk about a specific basketball game, and that's how much I want to talk about this game is making a video, because that's how big the game was in my opinion, and that is Game 5 of the Bucks and Heat first round in the 2023 NBA playoffs. Oh my goodness, I have so much to say. First off, going into this season, I knew Jimmy Butler was one of the best players in basketball. I mean, the bubble, I will never forget that. That was, to me, in my very, very minimal experience of watching the NBA since like 2018, right? I had not seen a player go off like Jimmy Butler did in the bubble and on the way to the bubble. And I mean, this guy was on the Sixers. I remember just watching him play with Joel Embiid, and I was like, oh yeah, he's good, but like, you know, he's not great. And again, I didn't watch him in Chicago, didn't watch him in Minnesota, because I wasn't watching basketball at that point. But then he goes to Miami, and I'm like, okay, he averaged a slim shy of 20 points per game. They're pretty okay, I guess. Then the bubble comes around, and he goes on this crazy run, and then in the finals, he has like all these 40-point games, feels like in just one-upping LeBron's got that iconic picture of him bending over the whatever that was, the table, scores table or something, just exhausted, and gave it his all. And I love that. I love players who just give it their all, who are healthy, who just fight, are aggressive, get to the free throw line, and just play old school. And Jimmy's like that. And I mean, the last few seasons, the Heat weren't as successful. I mean, I know they were the 1 seed last season. I don't know how. I still can't believe that happened, to be honest with you. It's almost like it went right over my head. But they had a good season then. They fell. I will never forget that what could have been shot from Jimmy Butler that could have won the series. But instead, Boston won in 7 and went to the finals and lost to the Golden State Warriors. Man, I just remember that. Yeah, Jimmy missed a 3 that could have won the entire thing, and it was a close 3 too. But man, that's insane. So going into this year, I'm like, okay, Heat are probably gonna be in the top 6. I knew the East was gonna be good. The Hawks disappointed for sure. All the teams that missed the playoffs, I felt like we're going to miss the playoffs. The Bulls being as low as they were kind of shocked me. Toronto, I mean, it's just like one of those teams had to. I thought maybe the Magic or the Pacers could be decent. And I mean, looking back at it, they kind of were. What I didn't expect, though, was for the Heat to be as mediocre as they were. What, they won like 43, 44 games? I think it was 43. And it just didn't work out for them. They lost to the Hawks in the play-in, and I was like, man, that sucks. And Jimmy had a bad game, and I was like, yo, Jimmy, you know, you're one of my favorite players in basketball. I've been meaning to get your jersey for a long time. It's like, dude, where are you? What happened to the old Jimmy? Like, are you finally regressing? Because I'm telling you, this man, watching him in the playoffs the last few years, I always was like, man, you know, there's Kawhi. I see flashes now in Anthony Edwards, but man, Jimmy Butler reminds me of Jordan sometimes. And I never got to watch Michael Jordan play. And wow, this dude goes, they win against the Chicago Bulls, and then they are the 8th seed against the Bucks. And I'm like, you know what? This is going to be an interesting series. I actually said that. Did I think it was going to end in 5? No, I didn't actually. Definitely didn't think it was going to be 1-5 by the Heat. I had a feeling it was going to go 6, just because you don't count Jimmy Butler out. And then Tyler Hero gets hurt, and I'm like, well, shoot, there goes that, right? And then Giannis gets hurt, and I'm like, oh, he'll be fine. That doesn't look too bad. It's Giannis. And then he misses a game. Then he misses another game. And then all of a sudden, it's 2-1 Miami, and Jimmy Butler's going off, and I'm like, okay, like, this is interesting. Giannis needs to play this next game so they don't go down 3-1, right? He comes back, and I'm like, okay, like, they've got it. Milwaukee's got it. Giannis is back. He'll do Giannis things. This team was the best team record-wise in basketball. They've got it. And then Jimmy Butler turned into Michael Jordan. I have never seen anything like it. And the worst thing about it is that I wasn't around to watch the game because I thought, oh yeah, it's going to be a blowout. So I was at some social, come back, 3 minutes left in the game. Jimmy's got 50. And I got to watch the very end of the game. And oh my, I was just blown. I was angry that I missed it. I was just all over the place. 56 points. Most in Heat playoff history. I think it's top 4 scoring performance in playoff history, period. Wow. Wow. The shots he was hitting, I'm telling you. Like, and it's not just me. It's not just me. I was reading the comments and on YouTube, NBA Twitter, Instagram, and everyone else is saying the exact same thing. Like, I get there were jokes early on about Jimmy Butler maybe actually being Michael Jordan's son through an affair or something. But dude, oh man, I have never seen someone take over in the playoffs like this. No. I mean, not even LeBron. Personally, not even LeBron. I didn't get to see LeBron play, I mean, to where I can remember. In even 2017-18 when I knew he went off. But he lost. Jimmy Butler is going off and he's winning. And so coming into Game 5, I'm like, oh shoot, Milwaukee's down 3-1. Honestly, not worried because it's the Bucks against the Heat. And can Jimmy Butler really do this in back-to-back games? He did. He did. It's wild to me. I mean, I have watched most of this game. Heading into the fourth quarter, Heat down 16. I'm like, okay, another game. Going to what was it? Miami? Going to Miami? Yeah. But then all of a sudden, everything changes. And first off, the free throw difference in this game, dude. I'm just going to wait till the end to get to that. So, fourth quarter comes around, all of a sudden, Heat are coming back, and then Jimmy Butler just turns God mode on, and then all of a sudden, it's just shot after shot after shot, and I'm telling you, the way that they just got the ball to him, and you knew he was going to take the shot. And he did, and he scored again and again and again. There were few times where he missed. There was 1-3 towards the very end of regulation. I was like, I'll put them up. This is it. And he missed. And I was like, dang it, Jimmy. Dang it, Jimmy. And somehow, in some way, Bucks go up 4. And then Gabe Vincent hits this 3. What's so funny is that I've compared Gabe Vincent to Devontae Graham. I know that sounds ridiculous, but Hornets Devontae Graham, their play style, how even their frame is so similar. And how they shoot threes is just so similar. So I've said, oh yeah, Gabe Vincent is Miami's version of Devontae Graham. Sort of a no-name that comes up and, plays that role for them. Dude just pulls up, and in my head, I can hear Eric Collins' voice saying, Devontae! And it went in. And I was like, ain't no way. So it was a 1-point game, and I'm still like, okay, this game's over. It's got to be over, because there's, at that point, 7 seconds left. And then I forget what happens from there. Oh, yeah. Dude. Yeah, Giannis struggling from the free throw line like crazy. Stuff I haven't seen in years. Old Giannis. And then all of a sudden, he tries to pass it. I think it goes out of bounds. Somehow Middleton saves it, and it goes to Drew Holiday. For a while, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Heat ball. But then I realized, oh, Middleton actually saved it. Crap. Dang it. Holiday's at the line, and then he misses the first. And I'm like, there's no way. There is no way. And then he makes the second, and Miami calls timeout. And then all of a sudden, I'm like looking at this inbound, and I'm like, there's no way. Jimmy doesn't turn. I'm expecting him to cut baseline towards the inbounder, which I think was Lowry, and he doesn't. He stays around the rim, and I'm like, okay, they're going to need someone else to take the shot. That's probably it. No. I'm sitting here thinking, man, it would be so cool if I watched Jimmy Butler hit a game-winning three, but I also don't want him to because he's shooting from, at that point, like 3 for 10 in the game from three. I'm like, Jimmy, listen, I've never seen you make a three with 30 seconds or less in the game to seal a game. Like, I haven't seen you do that. I haven't seen Steph do that, really. Let's be honest. In the playoffs? No. And so I'm like, don't go for the win, Jimmy. Don't do it like you did last year against Boston. And he doesn't. But here I am wanting so badly to see a game winner or something insane. And it happens. They inbound it up. Most weird lob. And then in the most Michael Jordan fashion ever, Jimmy Butler pushes off, gets space, falling back, ball in his hand. Like, it's like slow motion. You watched it happen in slow motion. He was just sitting like this in the air for the longest time. And he lifts his hand up, and it goes in. There was no backboard. There was not really any rim either. I'm telling you, the degree of difficulty of that shot is remarkable. I have said for years now that if there is one thing I could have as a basketball player, if there's one attribute I could like have like perfected, it would be Jimmy's like finishing touches. I'm serious. Like, you see how easy he hits his layups? Russell Westbrook needs to take some lessons from him, and I love Russ. Like, that finishing loop, you know, it's unmatched. The little floaters, the layups, the jellies, and then that. I'm not even surprised. I wasn't even surprised. I was. But at the same time, he's been doing stuff like this for so long. Only him in that moment could be that light with the ball and actually make it go in. Ridiculous. And so it goes to overtime. I'm hyped. I'm like, this is insane. Jimmy Butler's going off. And then, like, right from the gate, Miami scores. And then Jimmy misses a layup, and Bam follows it up. I'm like, Bam, thank you. I know you, like, at that point, he was on a verge of a triple-double. Eventually got a triple-double. But I was like, Bam, you're shooting, like, what feels like 5 for 15, dude. Thank you for finally doing something right. Thank you. And Milwaukee just can't respond. It was insane. I mean, they scored a few times, but then, shoot, they foul Max Strus on a three. Man, it's 2 of the 3, and then I just couldn't believe it. Giannis scores a few times in overtime, as he should, and then Lowry fouls out. Kevin Love fouls out, or actually they were reversed. Kevin Love, then Lowry. And so at that point, you're like, well, shoot, you know what's happening? Cody freaking Zeller, the Hornets legend, is going to close out this game. I could not believe it. I'm like, let's go. This is awesome. I think man scored a bucket too. But it just doesn't look good. It still doesn't look good. And then, all of a sudden, 2-point game. Miami's up. Shot clock is low. Vincent for 3. Misses. Too good to be true. Or maybe it was Strus. And then, all of a sudden, he come running. No timeout. I'm not even processing. I haven't even thought about, oh, why didn't they call a timeout? I am so fixed into the game and what's happening and listening to the announcers that I'm just zoned in, straight zone. And I didn't even look at the shot clock, but I knew there was like 14 seconds, 13 left on the shot clock, not even. And I'm just like, dude, what is happening with the time? This feels like 5 minutes. And then the defense is locked. They get it to Middleton. It doesn't work. He gets it to Grayson Allen of all people. Grayson Allen drives and couldn't even get a shot off. At that point, when he starts to drive, I'm like, dude, the game has to be over. This is the longest 6 seconds of my life. Like, how is the buzzer not sounded? And then it does. And the game's over. And I'm sitting there like, that has to be the most anticlimactic end to a series ever. They didn't get a shot off. What? I thought Middleton was going to shoot. I thought Giannis had a chance to tie it. You got Drew Holiday. And Middleton was scorching at one point. I could not believe it. No timeout. They did not call a timeout. Coach Bud, what are you doing? Honestly, this game just goes to show how great, again, Jimmy Butler was. The man was up 3-1, knew what the job was, and came in and got the job done. Took over when he needed to, hit the shots that mattered, and won the game. Bam. I mean, I think he fouled out too. And, I mean, what can you say? Like, he did the things that needed to be done that wouldn't normally happen from a big man, like 10 assists in a playoff game. He got that done. Gabe Vincent, 22 points. That's what I'm saying, is that Jimmy can't carry. No one player can carry. I mean, you can even look at Mike. And Mike had players around him who did good, who did their jobs. He had Scotty, you know. He had Kerr. He had Cartwright. You know, these are guys who fulfill their roles. Rodman, Kukoc. You know, he had these guys who knew their job and got the job done and helped contribute. It's a team effort when you play winning basketball. So now let's look at some of the stats of the game, which, again, the amount of hype in this game, just how the Bucks fell apart and how Miami came back. Classic, all-time classic game. The Bucks were up 16 entering the fourth. They shot, get this, Miami won the game, remember. They shot 28 more free throws than Miami, 45-17. I don't know if I have ever seen a team, regular season or postseason, shoot 45 free throws. I feel like once I've seen a team shoot like 50, and it was insane, outlandish. There is no reason why a team should be shooting 45 free throws. Again, I know 23 of those were from Giannis, but even then, that's 22 extra free throws for everyone else. That is ridiculous. You fouled out 3 of Miami's best players, and it still didn't matter. I mean, talk about refereeing. What on earth? It's ridiculous. 45-17. That's a 28-point margin of what could have been. But Milwaukee couldn't hit their free throws. Miami could hardly hit their free throws. I mean, yeah, Milwaukee shot 28 for 45 on free throws. But even still, Miami made 11. That's a 17-point difference. They lost with a 17-point advantage in free throws. And if they had hit all their free throws, the game wouldn't have been close. It would have been easy. Easy win. It's ridiculous. That just shows how great the Heat were. 28 more free throw attempts. I mean, in Giannis, again, free throw line struggled and it ultimately cost him the game. He shot 10 for 23 on free throws. That's atrocious. That's Dwight Howard-esque. Shaq-esque. But, I mean, he had 38 points. He had 20 rebounds. He's coming off of an injury. And you can tell that injury was bothering him. He gave it his best. He tried. I mean, I think the pressure was getting to him on the free throws. I saw glimpses of old Giannis, and he got scared. Can't blame him. Honestly, call me crazy, but I think that this Bucks team, they felt like they had a shot to come back from 3-1 up until the end of the fourth quarter. And once things started to turn around, panic happened. And then I think once overtime dawned, I think the Bucks were just like, we're not coming back. I think the demoralizing reason of being down 3-1, like knowing you're down 3-1, and then knowing you're in overtime, and knowing you're exhausted, I think it just got to their heads. I mean, I couldn't blame them. But if it was that much effort, 28 more free throws, like, if it's all that, you're fouling out the Miami Heat's guys, and, you know, it still doesn't matter, and you're down 3-1, I think at that point you're just like, it's not going to happen, mentally. And, yeah, then they lost. I mean, Jimmy had 42 points, 8 rebounds, shot 17 of 33. Like, he did his job. He came to play. And yeah, you know, he missed 16 shots, but at the same time, the shots that he hit, I mean, it felt like he was hitting every shot. And I think a lot of, some people I knew, they were like, oh, well, I know everyone's comparing him to Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan wouldn't have missed those shots. Dude, Michael Jordan did miss shots. He did. I mean, look at his stat lines in the playoffs. Like, Michael Jordan missed shots. Quite a few, actually. We just don't talk about it. We talk about the makes. Just like with Jimmy, we're talking about the makes. Kevin Love, dude came through. Hit 5 threes in the game. 15 points, 12 rebounds. Hey, that's solid. That's some Cleveland stuff right there. That's great. Gabe Vincent, 22. And, like, Middleton, again, Chris Middleton had a good game. He didn't shoot fantastic. I mean, he shot, what was 42% from the field, but he took a lot of shots. And he had 33, 6 and 6. I mean, what more can you ask from a guy who averaged 15 points coming off of injury this season, you know? He did his job. Him and Giannis. Except for the free throws, of course. But you know what's interesting is, so Drew Holiday didn't have a great game. But what I was interested in at the end of the game was Bobby Portis. Man played 16 minutes. 0 points. He had 0 points. Shot 0 for 2. That's your 6th man of the year? You really? That's your guy? He wasn't even relevant in the game. 0 points. I think 2 rebounds. Didn't do anything. That was the guy during their championship run who was a big factor of the game. He just couldn't do squat. He could not do squat. I mean, oh, sorry. Milwaukee out-rebounded Miami 56-45. That's 11 more opportunities. I mean, Miami hit 3 more threes, 17-14. But Milwaukee shot 12 less threes. And then the free throws. And it didn't matter. It did not matter. Then you look at Jimmy in the season, or the series. There was like 37 points. Never went below 50% shooting on any of those games, any of the 5 games. Last night, his 42-point game was his lowest shooting percentage night of the season, or series, not the season. 51, 52%. It just blows my mind. That blows my mind. I think Jimmy Butler's a Hall of Famer. Yeah. The 8 seed just beat the 1 seed. First time I've ever seen this happen. First time since the Bulls series back in 2012, which wasn't Derrick Rose's fault because he got hurt. My little brother wasn't even born last time something like this happened. And the thing is that this wasn't a 7-game, like, 8 seed, 1 seed series. Like, the 8 seed won in 5. That's a gentleman's sweep against what many people were calling the title favorites. I don't know. How good is Jimmy Butler? We said he couldn't do it, and he did it again. 98 points in a 2-game playoff span. I thought that hadn't been done before. And then guess what? It was the most since 1993 when who else did it? Michael Jordan. I don't know. I mean, you tell me. You watch the games. You see this man telling Drew Holiday in the 4th quarter, yes, the 4th quarter, they're jabbing at each other, and he says, you can't guard me. He says that first team all defense doesn't mean crap. And he's right. It didn't matter. Jimmy Butler tied the game and sent it to overtime after that. The most ridiculous shot. And they won in overtime. He talked trash. He put his hand to his ear to the crowd. He was like, y'all real quiet. Now, I've never seen anything like this before in my life. And I might not again. I never got to see Michael Jordan play. Never got to see him play. I never got to see some of the greatest trash talkers play. Larry, Gary Payton. I never got to see him play. But then you look at this. You look at Jimmy Butler. He's talking trash. And he's backing it up with legendary performances. I still can't process it. what's on my mind now is, first off, how far can the Heat go now? And second off, it blows my mind that Jimmy Butler wasn't named an All-Star this year. He secretly, quietly had his best season of his career, but they were the 8th seed, or 7th seed, like, coming into the play-in. They weren't good. They were worst three-point shooting team, basically, this season. And Jimmy just showed up. Dude just popped off. And, yeah. And now we're here. And they are going up against the New York Knicks in the semifinals. Dog, I can't make this up. I'm going to lose my mind. So, Celtics, I think Celtics are going to win tonight against the Hawks. The Celtics win. That's Celtics-Sixers. Then we have, so that's an awesome matchup, NBA history-wise. Then we got Knicks and Heat. That is incredible. Those two franchises going up against each other in the playoffs, let alone the second round. Beautiful. That is absolutely wonderful. I'm so excited for that series. I'm not going to miss a game. Then we got Nuggets and Suns. That's going to be fun. I honestly, dude, I don't know. I could be overrating the Suns, but we'll see. And then the potential to see Warriors-Lakers second round. Oh, I'm praying for it. Both Warriors and Lakers are up 3-2 in their series. Please. I'm telling you, dude, this NBA postseason has already been basically the best I've ever seen. It's going head-to-head with the 2020 NBA playoffs in the bubble. Because that was amazing. That was amazing. The Lakers run, Miami's run, Portland's run. Yeah. If we see those matchups in the semis, that's insane. That is insane. Because either way, the teams left, like, if they make it to the finals, dude, that's huge. Like, it's new. It's something exciting. Unless, like, Boston makes it. And then it's like, well, yeah, they made it last year. But even then, they have another shot at a title. You can talk about that. So, anyways, I mean, that's about it. I had to make a video. I had to talk. I know it's been forever. I've lost my hair and I have a beard now. But the greatness of Jimmy Butler. How is this man going to be remembered? Please tell me how he's going to be remembered. Because I don't know. I'm scared my kids one day are going to laugh at me and be like, oh, Jimmy Butler, you know, who is he? Like, dude averaged like 20 points per game in his career. Dude only had like 5 All-Star appearances. Like, who is he? You call him one of the greatest players you've ever seen? I'm going to say yes. Heck yes. I have never seen a better playoff performer than Jimmy Butler in my life. Period. Forget LeBron. I have never seen LeBron do this. I'm sorry. I just haven't. I know he's had incredible playoff performances, but at this magnitude, carrying a team, I don't know. That could be a stretch. You can argue LeBron, but I'm telling you, man, the way Jimmy plays, and then always at the end credits it to his teammates. Like, plus 50 morale, dude. Man, we are blessed. Jimmy Butler better make the Hall of Fame just for postseason. Incredible. I'm excited for the rest of the playoffs. Hope you guys are. And that's all from me. What is it? 34 or 5 Nation. See you guys around, whenever that will be.